Hey guys, what's up? Disney Nuts here. How you guys doing? So today I'm going to show you how I actually took this photo. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this photo. Obviously, it's taken back in the Tomorrowland area. I have Space Mountain to my right-hand side, and we got the Indy 500 to the left. And the reason that I took this photo was I decided one day, for some strange reason, to actually go into Magic Kingdom 5 minutes before the fireworks went off. Now, if you've been to Magic Kingdom, you know how Main Street gets, which it gets totally crazy. Everybody lining up into the Main Street to be able to see the fireworks all the way back into the train station. So I said, well, let me go ahead and try and venture to see if I can get all the way to the back part and shoot a photo from there. So as for going up through the sidewalk, it wasn't that bad, you know, up through the side. I went through Starbucks and some of the stuff, and it was, you know, no problem. But as soon as I hit the ice cream station on the right-hand side at the end of the Main Street, which is where the plaza is and all that other fun stuff, it was just pure madness, to be honest with you. I've never been in a tighter, shoved in, squeezed, insulted, grabbed, you know, situation that I was like when I was there. Fireworks were going on, everything was exploding in the back, people were pushing, people were shoving, the cast members were trying to get people to move with the wands, people were moving, people were insulting each other, people were insulting the cast members. It was rough. It was rough. So hats off to those cast members who deal with those lines and those types of crowds every day, because what they had to experience and what I saw just wasn't right. So anyway, I was able to get all the way to the back part and able to get into Tomorrowland Terrace. And from there, I was able to squeeze all the way back through what is the purple wall and get all the way into the back part, which is where I shot this photo. Now, the photo itself is a combination of two photos. Obviously, the one of the fireworks, and the fireworks shot is actually one. It's not multiple shots as I usually do, but it was actually the finale of Enchantment. And then having the camera set up where it was, I took another photo, but I set the shutter speed way faster to be able to get the cars frozen in time. And then we merged the two photos together, and voila, there's the photo. Pretty interesting, right? So let's go ahead now into the computer and edit these two photos so you can see how I got the result that I got. Let's go. Okay, so here we are inside Lightroom, and I'm going to show you what I did to merge these two photos. Here's the final result that you guys have seen on my Instagram page. If you're not following already, it's under my username Disney_nuts. Please go ahead and check it out, give it a follow. Here are the two photos. Here's the first one, which is the finale of Enchantment. As you can see, there's no cars here. It's a long exposure, nothing fancy. I shot this at f/18 because it was the finale, and usually I shoot at f/11, but since it's the finale and there's going to be a lot of light from the fireworks, so then I usually bump it up to 18, 16. And then again, it's just a matter of you know, depending on how much light you see, how much time you leave it open. In this case, I left it open for 13 seconds. The lens that I used was the Canon 60mm ultra wide lens for my Canon R, and it's the RF mount. It's a new lens that came out. I did a review for it as well if you want to check that out. And then the second photo that I took, I did not move the tripod. You know, everything had already finished, and you can see here the castle now has the searchlights over it, which is usually like the last song. It's there for 3 or 4 minutes. And here I altered my settings, and I went to shoot with 1/80th of a second because I wanted to freeze the cars coming out, you know, as much as possible. And again, when you do that and it's nighttime, and you know your ISO is going to go up here, went all the way up to 16,000, but that's fine because we're only going to mask in these three cars, and up here we're going to mask in the tram here on the people mover as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and select the two photos, and you can edit them however you want. Try to do it the closest possible, because that way the colors and everything are somewhat the same. We're going to select the two of them, we're going to right click, and we're going to do edit into open as layers in Photoshop. And what that's going to do is actually going to open up Photoshop and put one on top of the other. Then we can go in with the masking tool and eventually you know, say what we want to be able to show from one photo to the other. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to select the two images, hitting the control key, and we're going to edit, and we're going to do auto align, and this we're going to leave it as default. What it's going to do its best possible to make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. And sometimes you'll see these white lines, which means what it was able to correct one image from the other. And the way we fix that's pretty easy. With the two of them already selected, we're going to hit the crop button, and we just bring it in a little bit here. Nothing big, just all the edges, so it's nice and neat, and we don't got any of that, you know, stuff that wasn't able to be matched up correctly. And that could have been that I probably touched the tripod or something, you know, no problem, it happens. But again, hitting the auto line corrects that perfectly. Okay, so now we got two images, and if you know Photoshop, it will show, you know, it starts from the top bottom. And since there's no mask, and then this is 100% here, we cannot see what's underneath it, which is totally fine. So what we're going to do is select the top image, and we're going to use this tool down here, which is the masking tool. And it's going to put like a little white little pad here that we can draw on. And we're going to make sure that our color is black and white, because whatever we paint black will be, it will tell the photo on the top to show what's underneath it. So we're going to basically paint in, this stuff here, which is the tram, and we're going to paint in the cars right here in this one. So make sure you click on the white box, okay? So we're going to go ahead here to this, the top one, and click on the white thing. We're going to make sure it's the brush. And the brush, you could use any type of brush. I usually use a circle, nothing fancy. And I will paint in here the tram. Here we go. Now, of course, if I zoom in here, you'll see that if I paint right over here, I get rid of some of the fireworks. So what we're going to do, we're going to later go in and refine that. And the way that we do that is we actually going to zoom in a little more. And we're going to now use white. And what white does, it actually reverses what we did. So I'm going to bring my brush smaller, because obviously we're zoomed in, so the brush becomes bigger. So I'm going to go ahead in here, and I'm going to using the white thing. I'm just going to fix this here a little bit. And there we go. And we can fix this area here so it's nice and neat. Obviously you can tell where the noise is, which is where the previous image is, because obviously we shot that at 1/80th of a second, and of course, you know, you bring in all that noise because it's not a long exposure. So we're just going to paint over all this area that we did so it looks you know, as clean as possible. And it's okay that this, you know, the people in the tram look, you know, a little noisy, because again, once we zoom out, it won't be that obvious, you know, possibly, so it doesn't look as bad. If anything, if it doesn't work for you, you know what you could just do is just cut a tram, for example. Let's actually do that. I think that's probably the better option here. Let's just get rid of this one here. Oh, just a quick and dirty here. And that is the shot right there. Now there's one more thing that we're going to do, but we're going to do it in Lightroom. So once this is done, we're going to go ahead and hit the X button here, and that's going to save the image and bring it back into Lightroom. Okay, so here's the photo back in Lightroom. Now, while the photo looks great, there's still one little detail that I added into the original photo. And if you look at the original photo, you're going to see it. I'm going to click here. There's one big difference here, besides the cropping. There's one thing that I added in, because again, you want to try to make this look as natural as possible. Of course, it's easy to slap on those fake presets and those fake skies, but if it doesn't look natural, it doesn't look somewhat real, even though we all know it's obviously it's made up. Try to make it look as real as possible. I think that's what makes photos stand out. Okay, so what I did here that's not on the other one is this little red spot here, because I wanted to simulate the fireworks reflection on top of the cars. So this is really easy to do. We're going to use the paint tool, which is the K here in Photoshop, and we're going to select the brush, and we're going to select the color, and we're going to bring this down here, which is where we usually go in and we select highlights and stuff like that. But I'm going to come down here to the color option, and I'm going to put red, or somewhat red, not darkest red, something like this. And then I am going to do pretty big here. And as for my settings of the brush, nothing fancy. I'm probably like a 50%. I'm just going to slap here a little bit of red on here, and that is going to give the illusion of the fireworks reflection on the cars. And that's it. There's the photo, guys. And again, you want to crop this for Instagram or something like that, very easy to do. You come in here, crop it, you know, again, using leading lines, which is what I like to use. You know, try to point it on something of interest. If you know, this looks cool here as well, which is the border of the railing. Here we go, and there's the photo, guys. Here's the one that we just did, and here's the one that I edited and posted on Instagram. Cool. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this editing and photography video. If you want to see more, feel free to comment below and tell me what stuff you'd like to see more on this channel. Now, this is the first time watching this channel. You probably know that it's a combination of me and my wife, and we do other stuff as well throughout Central Florida. So feel free to check out some of the other fun stuff that we do. It's not only photography, but I do photography videos like this for people who ask me, who want to know how I took certain shots. Okay, until then, guys, stay awesome. See ya. Bye.